Question 1. In what ways does your media product develop or challenge forms or conventions of real media? My media product, Help Me Lose My Mind, uses effects such as color keys, lens aberrations, kaleidoscopes, and ripples. In editing, I make use of heavy visual effects due to Joe taking a drug that makes him visual hallucinations. The song Help Me Lose My Mind aids in the idea that Joe is actually losing his mind while stripping. To develop these visual effects, I reuse the same effect or clip, such as the lens aberration, which is shown later, as you can see. This also shows what's possibly happening inside his head, with chemical reactions, etc. The kaleidoscope was developed through Joe's peak of his trip, where you can see him struggling to bounce on a pogo stick whilst seeing these visual hallucinations. Finally, to develop the fact that Joe is losing his mind, I use the color key in the first shot, as it layers one clip on top of each other, showing more than one Joe making a sandwich at once. To challenge forms or conventions of regular music videos in this genre, I recorded my clip so that it doesn't make much sense, but the result of this adds to my theme of drugs and the process of how Joe slowly is turning insane. Question 2. How effective is the combination of your main product and ancillary text? My media product, in combination with my digipack, fits the theme of LSD and insanity, which in my opinion utilises colours and visual effects as much as possible. With this in mind, I designed my digipack with Joe as the main subject, but when it came to what camera shot I wanted, I was indifferent between Joe before his trip or after, so I decided to do both, to show the changes in people's perception when on drugs. The result was that the front cover was Joe normal with lack of effects, and the back was the complete opposite, with changes in saturation, colour, and many more. The typeface I used was Zephyr. This was because the letters are barely written, again fitting with the style of Insanity. I've looked into how Spotify would market this type of cover and music video, which would mainly be through their system where they suggest music, much like that in your own library evaluation stages. During the research stage, I used Blogger to record information from websites like Wikipedia, as well as images from YouTube videos and Google Images. Whereas during the planning stages, I started to acquire equipment to learn how to use accessories like camera tripods and Adobe After Effects. Specifically, I looked into how to use the effects such as kaleidoscopes, as well as audio track keys for key ramming, which meant that visuals would be manipulated by the beat of the song. The main piece of equipment I used was the Squalls camera, a Canon 80D. Softwares like Photoshop and InDesign aided in editing of my digipack. Joe Sleeping 1, where I raised the vibrance and saturation and used split toning, pinks for the lights, turquoise for the darks. Also, wind effects to blur its hand, which adds to the tripping effect. I also used a layer mask to isolate colours on the skin for the rest of the image, emphasising Joe's hand.